I have heard that more and more people are consuming fast food. Additionally, they are becoming more obese. Yeah, me too. I've heard that many people are eating fast food and they are getting fat. True. Folks like it greasy. They just dig in all the fast food. What do you think? Hello, my name is Maddie from POC English, and in this lesson, I'm going to teach you some formal English vocabulary using 3 stories. Let's start with story number 1. Jack's father is rich. He doesn't let Jack go out with his poor friend Jesse. Jesse is a funny person, and he is very kind. Jack's father thinks this is not okay. So, Jack has to say sorry each time he goes out with Jesse. Poor Jack. This story was informal, and I want to show you how to make it more formal by using some formal vocabulary. So, the first word is rich. When someone has a lot of money, we say he or she is rich, right? Instead of rich, you can use the more formal word affluent. Affluent. He is a rich man. He's an affluent man. Or rich people live here. Affluent people live here. The second word is let. My father doesn't let me go out. Let is informal, and the more formal version is allow. My father doesn't allow me to go. A very important grammar note. After let, we use bare infinitive or infinitive without to. My father doesn't let me go. There's no to. However, after allow, we use infinitive with to. My father doesn't allow me to go. Let me go, allow me to go. Jesse is funny. Well, instead of funny, which is an informal adjective, I can say amusing. Amusing. Jesse is amusing. Or this TV show is amusing. Or it was an amusing movie. And is a very useful word. Well, instead of and, you can say additionally. In the beginning of a sentence. This is very important. So, if you want to replace and with additionally, you have to cut the sentence in 2 parts, finish the sentence with a full stop, and then start the second sentence with additionally plus comma. For example, instead of Jack is funny and he is very kind, I can say Jack is funny, full stop. Additionally, comma, he is very kind. This is more formal. If we want to say that something is fine and there is no problem with doing something, you can use the word okay. Like, it's okay to have fast food every once in a while, but okay is an informal word. Instead of okay, you can say acceptable. Acceptable. It's acceptable to have fast food every once in a while. When we do something wrong, we have to say sorry. Right? If I broke my friend's pencil, I have to say sorry. If I had an accident with my dad's car, I have to say sorry. If I stay alive. Instead of say sorry, I can use a more formal word, apologize. Apologize is a verb, and it's very formal. It means to say sorry. I have to apologize. Now, let's try to use these new formal words in order to rewrite the story. Jack's father is affluent. He doesn't allow Jack to go out with his poor friend Jesse. Jesse is an amusing person. Additionally, he is very kind. Jack's father thinks this is not acceptable. So, Jack has to apologize each time he goes out with Jesse. And that is a more formal version of this story. Let's go to story number 2. My coworker is working on a project. It is a very hard project. So, he is very worried. He has to finish it by Friday. He has asked me to help him. I suggested that we talk to our boss about the project. And that was the second informal story. Let's try to make it formal together. A person you work with is your coworker. But instead of coworker, you can use the more formal equivalent. Colleague. He's my coworker, he's my colleague. I love my coworker, I love my colleague. Instead of the adjective hard, you can say difficult, but you can use a more formal word, which is even nicer to say. You can say complex. Something is hard, something is complex. Math is hard, math is complex. This project is hard, this project is complex. Instead of saying he is worried or she is worried, you can make it more formal and say concerned. He's concerned or she's concerned about something. Instead of the verb finish, you can simply say complete. Let me make something clear. It is not wrong to say finish. That's completely fine. But if you want to add variety, you can say complete instead of finish. Help can be a noun and a verb. I really need your help. Help here is a noun. Can you please help me? Help here is a verb. Instead of the verb help, I can say assist, which is more formal, right? Could you assist me? Instead of the noun help, I can say assistance. I appreciate your assistance. One word we use a lot is about. I want to talk to you about something. I read an article about something. There was a documentary about animals. Instead of about, I can use more formal equivalents like regarding or concerning. I saw a documentary concerning wildlife. I read an article regarding the economy. Now, let's try to use these new formal words in order to rewrite the story. My colleague is working on a project. It is a very complex project. So, he is very concerned. He has to complete it by Friday. He has asked me to assist him. I suggested that we talk to our boss concerning the project. And that was the second story. It is time for the third story, but before that, let me tell you something. If you want to receive the PDF file of the summary of this lesson and every other lesson when I post the YouTube video, what you need to do is to go to my website, pocenglish.com. The link is in the descriptions of this video. Click on the link, go to my website, type in your email address, and click subscribe. You will receive the PDF file for free each time I post a new video. And now, time for the third and the last story. Americans eat a lot of fast food. Fast food restaurants are often cheaper than normal restaurants. It is more expensive to have a meal at an elegant restaurant. Research shows that the number of healthy people is going down and fat people are going up. This is something politicians should talk about. Now, this text was semi-formal, which means not completely informal, but not entirely formal. And now we're going to try to make it more formal. If I am hungry, I eat. Instead of eat, I can use a very formal verb. Consume. Consume. But, you cannot use it when you're talking to your friend. Hey, why don't you consume that pizza? No. Consume is a very formal word, which is usually used in research or, when the news is giving information to the public. Or maybe you're reading the newspaper and you see, Americans are consuming more and more fast food. Instead of cheap, you can use an adjective, economical. Economical. Now pay attention. A very common mistake is saying economic. Well, economic is an adjective which means anything related to the economy of a country. The economic situation of the country is not good. The economic climate of our country is not very good. But economical means cheap. And instead of saying cheaper, you can say more economical. On the other hand, what can you say instead of expensive? Well, there is nothing wrong with expensive. And expensive is not really informal. But to add more variety, you can say costly. If I have something, I can show it to you. If the research finds something, it shows us, right? Instead of the word show, you can use a more formal one, demonstrate. Demonstrate. This is very useful for those of you who are aiming at taking the IELTS exam. Demonstrate. You can say the pie chart demonstrates or the bar chart demonstrates. Instead of go down, you can say decrease. And instead of go up, you can say increase. Politicians should talk about it. Well, talk about something is informal. What else can I say instead of talk about? I can use the verb discuss. Scientists should discuss it. Politicians should discuss it. And now, let's rewrite the story in a more formal way. Americans consume a lot of fast food. Fast food restaurants are often more economical than normal restaurants. It is costlier to have a meal at an elegant restaurant. Research demonstrates that the number of healthy people is decreasing and fat people are increasing. This is something politicians should discuss. You could even make it more formal by using obese instead of fat, talking about obesity. But anyway. And that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Let me know what you think in the comments below.